single men, help me out here, okay? Leave it in the comments, DM me, whatever you're most comfortable with. I actually want your opinion, believe it or not. Your opinion counts just as much. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. My question is, what do you think is holding men back from wanting to go to a singles event? Do you think that men think they will look desperate? Do you think men are scared of rejection? Do you think it's a pride thing? Please tell me. I would love to know the opinion on the male end, because I'm really trying to kind of crack the code here. Like, what would it take for you men to feel more motivated to come to a singles event? So let me know in the comments. Thank you.
For years, singles events were marketed as the perfect solution. Show up, meet people, spark connections, and let things happen naturally. The assumption behind all of it was simple. Men would always be there, ready to approach, ready to engage, ready to make things happen. But in 2026, that assumption is starting to fall apart.
They were really struggling with why men are not attending these events, and I had the same question.
First, let's consider that maybe the scheduling of these events is not opportune for the type of men you're trying to attract. So make sure that's not the problem. And then I'm going to tell you another problem that I think it might actually be with the men not wanting to go to these events. It is far easier for a woman to walk into a room full of women she does not know than it is for a man to do the same thing. That's in general. But second, for the men, it's a little bit of a competitive environment because you're creating a dating specific event. And so they're going to be there with men that they don't know. That creates a level of anxiety that comes from just kind of natural forces. So I think ideally you should do a men's event first, and then the following weekend do an event with single ladies with that same group of men. I don't know, that's my thought.
More and more events are noticing the same pattern. Fewer men showing up. Not slightly fewer, noticeably fewer. Rooms that were once balanced now feel one-sided. Conversations stall before they even begin because the dynamic that made these events work is missing.
The male loneliness epidemic is just a bunch of women crying online because men have pulled out of dating because of standards and expectations that are set upon them. Where? What standards and expectations? You're all in situationships. You're all doing nothing. You're all getting that coin slot for free. Let's be honest. Are you even taking the birds that you're sleeping with on dates? No, you're not. You're not. So I don't understand where these standards and expectations are that you're talking about. Because most of the women in my inbox telling me about men they're dealing with, they don't even get took out. They get took for a mug and that's it. Do you know what I mean? They're sleeping with these men who are doing absolutely nothing because they have made them believe that their self-esteem and self-worth should be fucking less than nothing. So where's these unrealistic expectations? Can you give me an example? Because I'm confused. What exactly are you all doing? What exactly are these women asking you to do for first dates? I mean, just take it to Nando's. It's not that fucking deep.
And the question keeps coming up. Where did the men go? The answer isn't loud or dramatic. They just stopped showing up.
Ain't no desirable man going to no speed dating event. I don't know who need to hear that, but before y'all keep wasting y'all money and time going to these speed dating events, don't do it if you expecting men that you would actually want to be there, because they're not. If there are any men there at all, they're definitely not going to be the type of man that you would want. They're going to be undesirable, but they won't be actual top tier, attractive men with things going for themselves. You know why? Because if a man is actually desirable, why would he need to come to a speed dating event? He wouldn't. Desirable men get women constantly, whether it's walking out the house, going to the store, going to the gym, going to school. They don't have a problem in the woman department. See, y'all having a problem in the men department, which is why you're at a speed dating event. But these men are not having an issue with women when they're desirable. They don't have a problem getting girls. You have a problem getting men. And that's something that you need to work on. But as far as going to these speed dating events and thinking that you're gonna meet actual men that you would want, they're not gonna be there. You'll be good if you even get any men there at all, even the ones that nobody wants.
A lot of men have looked at these events and decided the effort doesn't match the reward. The pressure to approach, impress, and carry interactions hasn't changed, but the motivation to do it has. Instead of stepping into environments where they feel expected to perform, many are choosing to invest that time elsewhere. And once that decision is made, it's hard to reverse.
Okay, I have to address these comments, like this one. To be honest, I have learned a lot in my comment section. I didn't know, I've never thought about the perspective of a man going to one of these events, honestly, like, and that was a genuine question. Me asking, what do men look for? Why don't they want to go to these events? I really wanted to know. And I think from these comments, I really got good insight on why they don't go, what makes them stay away from them, how do they actually feel about singles mixers, and it's so interesting. And based on what this person said, honestly, I kind of have to agree. I think there's a lot of pressure for men sometimes to just be in a room full of women that just judge them. I think even when obviously me going to one of these singles events, I see men that just aren't my type, right? And I'm not going to approach them. I'm not even going to look their way. And then meanwhile, they have a bunch of women, but if they don't look a certain way or they're not up to par to what women our standards, then no one's going to approach them. So I do feel sometimes they do have a lot of pressure, and I understand why they don't want to come to these events. But based on these responses, I think I'm gonna retire these singles events. I don't think it's worth it. I think I'd rather just go back to meeting people in the wild. And yeah, I don't think there's ever gonna really be value in it based on what I'm looking for. I think it's gonna be really hard. So thank you guys for the insight. It was really eye-opening, and I'm just gonna go back to the streets respectfully, the godly streets.
Because men aren't sitting at home miserable about it. They're doing other things. Working, training, building skills, relaxing, enjoying hobbies, basically living their lives without putting themselves in situations that feel forced or uncomfortable.
T-minus 2 hours until I go to my first ever singles event. I am excited? I don't know. Am I excited? I feel like I'm open. I'm feeling open. I'm feeling like, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's just do this. A friend of mine said she might come, so I probably won't be alone. But if I am, that's okay, because the event is centered around music, so I won't feel super stressed because everyone loves music, right? I'm about to get ready. I'm already kind of half ready because I came back from work, but I'm about to clean up my makeup a little bit more, and then we'll get going. Bathroom is in shambles. Okay, so I wish I could show you my bathroom, but I'm just going to show you what I'm wearing. This is the fit. I'm going to be wearing Nike Pandas. The friend I'm going with is wearing heels, and I'm like, heels would be so cute, but unfortunately I am flat-footed. But yeah, I'm confident with this fit. My hair's not done, so I've been wrapping it, and I always look cute with a wrap because my face card is So I'm confident in this little outfit, and it's also really cold. It's 35 degrees today, but it feels like 19. How is that even possible? If it feels like 19, isn't it just 19 degrees? Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, I'm excited. So I will keep you guys updated. Bye. Come find me, and I will give you advice. Alright. Thanks, yeah. So if you couldn't already tell, the event was a flop and I ended up leaving early. I did go to the event with a friend and I made a friend at the event, but there was no men there. There was no men. There was 5 men and 50 women, and all the men were not men that I would and not men that would have pursued me either. They weren't coming up to me. So it's like, hey, you know, so me and my friend made the executive decision to leave and look for somewhere local to just hang out so that we didn't waste our outfits for the night. And we ended up going into like this random restaurant that was having a karaoke night, and we had so much fun. Just singing and just dancing with the people there, and everyone was so nice. So the night was not a waste. I think a lot of my friends who I was updating about like the night, they were like really concerned, like, Crystal, like, are you okay? Like, I'm okay, because even though I didn't meet anyone and the event was a flop, like, maybe it just wasn't meant for me, right? Maybe it wasn't meant for me, but I was meant to have a good night, and I did. And I'm happy to report that tonight was so much fun, despite the fact that the singles event was a flop. Will I sign up for singles events in the future? Probably, but I have to continue to build up the courage to do so. I think this gave me the courage, the fact that I even did this, like, okay, I don't think I'm ready to go alone. I think in the future I will take friends until I feel secure in going alone, but I'm happy I had a friend today to go. And I'm happy that I went, even though it wasn't what I expected at all. So yeah, that was my night, guys. And yeah, being a late bloomer, it's an interesting experience, but I think in this season, if anything, I'm learning that it's important to be grateful for the community that you have now. I'm grateful for the friends that I'm making. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my family. And maybe a guy is not in the cards for me right now, and I don't understand why men don't talk to me, but that's okay, because I am a full person as I am, and that is great.
That's the part that disrupts everything. Singles events rely on participation. They rely on men showing up, initiating, and keeping the energy alive. When that participation drops, the entire structure weakens. It's not something that can be easily replaced or fixed. And it's not just about numbers. It's about mindset.
These men on dating apps are looking for pen pals. They're looking for pen pals, I think. I think they're just looking for a little daily, tippy-tappy, someone to text with, just a little girl. Few girls were texting. No intention of meeting up and going on dates. I don't understand. I usually have absolutely no problem asking a man on a date from the dating apps if it's been like 2, maybe max 3 days of like chatting back and forth. I'm like, let's meet up and get this going in person to see if there's anything here, because the answer is probably no, and I don't want to waste my time talking to you. But then I come onto TikTok and I tell people, and everyone is telling me, you shouldn't be asking the man out, you're making them think they're the prize, and you should not be asking. So I downloaded the apps again, and I'm just pen pals now with all these randomers. I don't get it. No sign of half these people asking me out. One guy I've been chatting to kind of back and forth like every few days for so long that I've forgotten our beginning conversations, you know, like I'm having to scroll back and be like, what does this guy do again? Where is he? What's he doing? And we've since discovered that we live 1 block away from each other. Ask me out. Ask me to meet up. Ask me to do something. Ask me, let's do a drive-by even. I'll cycle by your apartment because it's so close and we can wave to each other or something.
I saw this video of my homie where he says modern dating has become a humiliation ritual for men, and although as a man I do think that rejection is critical to overcome, I do get how intimidating it is. No amount of confidence will ever shake that fear. So as someone who hosts dating events, I truly want to create experiences that help you shake that fear a little bit. This Saturday in LA, I'm hosting a singles game night, and the whole point of a game night is to provide a little bit more flexibility. If you're the type to go shoot your shot directly, by all means, do it. But if you prefer things to happen a bit more naturally, that's what the games are for. Maybe y'all happen to be on the same team, or maybe a conversation about a game turns into something much more meaningful. Cool thing about this venue is that the event will be in a private space, but if you catch a real vibe with somebody, you can step into the main space where there'll be arcade games, drinks, and even a taco stand where you can have the perfect impromptu first date right then and there. Trust me, I know how brutal it is to text a girl from a dating app for weeks to never even go on a date. So this ditches that completely. Fellas, I get that dating sometimes feels like this humiliation ritual, but I'm truly looking out for y'all. It's free to RSVP, and right now, it's predominantly women. So come through, and worst case, you chop it up with some new homies. But trust me, this is for us just as much as it is for them.
The men who used to attend these events are now more selective about where they invest their time and energy. If something feels like unnecessary pressure or low return, they simply opt out. No complaints, no debates, just absence.
1,000 single women showed up to a church singles event, and only like 20, 30 men showed up.
At this point, I don't understand why anyone is still surprised over this. Between the drizzle movement and the bear versus the man argument, and the general huge amounts of men that have been speaking out about how marriage and relationships are just not worth it, and that dating is only ever worth it if you end up finding a unicorn where she's like putting in effort just like you are. With all of that very much known, it is no surprise that men are rather staying home, keeping their peace, chilling, working, or ignoring people.
I personally believe they say no because they don't get the concept of speed dating. But I believe some would show up. If they see that a lot of us are showing up, I feel like they will show up eventually. Then it also depends if they are purposefully looking. Now, if they just looking just to play games, then of course they're not going to show up. But if they're actually looking with, good intent, I feel like they'll show.
Meanwhile, the expectation that men will just show up still lingers. But reality isn't following that expectation anymore.
Men don't like dating events, and I have a theory. If you're a man and you don't enjoy dating events, I want you to tell me in the comments if I am right or what is your reasoning. So I have gone to a lot of dating events, speed dating events, all the things. And for the most part, it will be 80% women and 20% men, even though there are so many men in the world. And I don't think that all men are bad or all men are douchebags. That's not my theory. I think that men don't know what they're going to experience when they get there. But I also think that they have gone to some of these events and they don't like what they have experienced. I think that men feel like maybe it's like a meat market, that how women are going to be, or how, I think women, I don't think I would say afraid. I think that men are just like, this is going to be too intense, going to be way over the top, and I don't want to experience that, because whether I'm going to church events or I'm going to dating events in general, men don't show up. So men, I want you to tell me, why don't you guys like dating events?
So now you have events that look good on paper but struggle in practice. The setup is there, the opportunity is there, but the participation that makes it all work is slowly disappearing.
Amen. I do feel as if this gentleman is hella weird. I feel like he doesn't understand the positive and negative attention. He thinks that any attention is good attention, and it's not. But anyway, we'll let him keep on keeping on. And then secondly, you said if there's such thing as a male loneliness epidemic, why are all the singles events packed with women and way less men? And I can't answer that because I have 2 X chromosomes and no Y chromosomes. So I can't answer that for you, but I can go off of what I know. I don't understand it shit, but what I do me personally, I go to the singles events with my lady friends because we are like-minded and we're getting out of the house and we're doing fun things. And a lot of men don't come because they've given up. Also they're emotionally unstable. And I'm not going to carry that because I have that peace in my life. So I kind of think that the men have given up, but I feel like women give up too. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
And once that pattern sets in, it becomes harder to fix. Because convincing someone to return to something they've already decided isn't worth it is never easy.
This is really good, like a great question, because I am very curious about it, except for the club part. I don't care Nathan about no club. Why do men not go to singles events? Like, why don't y'all go? The ones in the church, or just like regular single? I don't know. I'm only talking about the ones in the church because those are normally the only ones I go to. But why don't y'all go? And one of my friends was there, and I was surprised to see him at the singles event that I was at. And he was like, oh, I'm only here because my friend told me about it. Like, someone told him about it. That's the only reason why he went. He was like, if someone didn't tell him, he wouldn't have even knew or even came. So do y'all not know about it, or do y'all just not want to go? Like, what is it? Because at the end of the day, y'all the ones who get down and propose to women. So I'm just curious why y'all don't go. But I already feel like y'all got the pick of the litter anyways. Like, y'all don't really need to go. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm very curious to know.
In the end, singles events aren't failing because people don't want connection. They're struggling because one side quietly decided the effort just isn't worth making anymore.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.